Bang. What they at? What they at? What they at though? What they at? What they at? What they at though? What they at? What they at? What they at? Tell me what they at? 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 Super freak, freak, super freak, freak. Shawty nasty, nasty, she a super freak, super freak, super freak. Yeah, yeah, she's a super freak, super freak. She's a super freak, super freak, super freak. She's a super freak, super freak. She's a freak, she's a super freak, freak, super freak, freak, freak. She's a super freak, freak, super freak. She's a freak, super freak. Bounce in there, it don't give a fuck. On the floor, she didn't hit the dun, now she going up. Twerking there, put that ass in motion. Girl, get it in motion. You know you super freak, get up and put that ass in motion. I need a super freak, super freak, super freak. What a super freaks. Super freak, super freak. Shake that ass, get freaky, but don't play no games in the bitch. You know your nigga might get mad, but shake that ass in the bitch if you a super freak. What a super freak, super freak. I need a super freak. What a super freak. Yeah, she's a super freak. Oh, she's a super freak. Super freak, super freak. She's a super freak. Super freak, super freak. She a freak, freak. Freak, freak, yeah, freak, freak, super freak. She's a super freak. Real nasty on the pole. Shot a super freak. She throwing that, baby, dropping low. She a super freak. Body like a stallion. Super freak, baby girl, body like a stallion. She didn't hit the cup and now she going up. Super freak, baby. Ooh, and you know I know you like it and you good. Don't you run for me. I'm getting it to your long stroke. Like don't run for me. Super freak. Get nasty, nasty, baby. You know I love a super freak. And we go rounds, yeah, baby. I love a super freak. I'm a super nasty motherfucker. I get down with the motion. I'm a nasty motherfucker. I like a super freak. What a super freaks. Need a super freak. She's a super freak. Baby, you're a super freak. Super freak, super freak. She a super freak. Super freak, super freak. She's a freak, freak. She's a freak, freak. Yeah, she a super freak. Baby, you a super freak. Bounce that ass, drop it low. Bring it back up, baby. Get that ass up on the floor. Shake that ass, get that cash, baby. Get in your bag. Super freak, you know you with it, baby. Get in your bag. Super freak. She a super freak. I love a super freak. Tune her up, super freak. Baby, know that I'ma tune her up. I like a super freak. Super nasty, nasty, yeah, super freak. Give me nasty, I need a super freak. Yeah, super freak. Baby, I love a super freak. She a super freak. Super freak, super freak. She's a super freak. Super freak, super freak. Yeah, super freak.